Good evening and welcome to LUTV's coverage as Leeds United's under-21s begin their National League Cup campaign against Boreham this evening. The Whites have been placed in Group C alongside Middlesbrough, Everton, Newcastle as of tonight's hosts, Solihull Moors, Tamworth and Hartlepool United. We'll go through the teams first, starting with our hosts. It is Gunter, Clarke, Bainbridge, Bush, Richardson, Cashman, and then it's Allarakhia, Wahid, Marshall-Miranda, Booty and Kensdale. Luke Garrett's bench is White, O'Connell, Brunt, Abdulmalik, Golden, Stapelberg and Rush. As for the 21s this evening, Scott Gardner's side go with Robert Cook, then it's Freddie Lane, Louis Philpott, Jacob Howard, Louis Enahoro-Marcus, Johnny Howson, Harvey Vincent, Ollie Pickles, Carrick and Njinko, Sam Chambers and Samuel Alker. The bench is George Kenyon, Jacob Render, Louis Whitehead, Josh McDonald, Kenneth Mensah, Trialist that's will just sit on both the bench ahead of Coburn Bird. And Leeds look to be playing on a rather lush service this evening, which is pretty good conditions considering the fact that we've had very little rainfall and the pitch should be nice and slick for the players to hopefully play a good game of football. Captain Ollie Pickles was saying how frustrated he was after that 0-0 draw with Stoke City last time out. In his words, it should have been 2 or 3. In the words of manager Scott Gardner, he felt more like 3, 4, maybe 5 by half time. So opportunity knocks for them to correct their wrongs, but this will be a really tough test tonight. A really good learning curve for these players, because this Boreham Wood side were mightily impressive last year. They finished 4th in the National League and then lost in the playoff final to Rochdale, so they came within a whisker of playing in the Football League, which tells you just how much this game is going to be a tough battle for Leeds United youth team. As per usual, they'll do all they possibly can to wear the shirt with pride and put on a performance. And delighted to say back to usual with Ben Parker sat alongside me. So everything just feels right in the world, Ben. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Hill. It's been a while, and good evening to everyone else tuning in. And I have missed you. We are set to go for another campaign in the National League Cup, and you're saying there about the opposition and just this cup in general. We had success, didn't we, 2 years ago, the inaugural competition that the boys did ever so well to get over the line in the end. And speaking through the academy staff, the real value with this is to provide opportunity against more senior players. And you were saying there, Boreham Wood, how they finished last season, a kick away from getting promoted to the Football League themselves. So big challenge ahead tonight, but for the players, it's all about those learning curves we speak about so often, and you're just excited just to see the freshness, what kind of new season does bring.
Yeah, plenty of this group handed new contracts in the summer, and we hope that plenty of them can learn along the way.
20 fixtures in total are played across the regular league system. The top 16 qualified.
Referee just double checking all is good, and there's certainly some eagerness between Allarakhia, which has set off too early. Having to be blocked off by Louis Enahoro-Marcus, who will practically be deployed as a blocker there on that occasion. Would look to bring it forward on the attack. Enahoro-Marcus gets with a first touch, looking to do the same there was Alker. So Njinko will sit in the number 9 spot. As we know from his previous spells with the 21s, he is going to be able to drift out wide as per usual. The same can be said for Chambers, who will do the opposite from a wide left to a central position as Enahoro-Marcus gets up to win the header. Awkward bouncing ball for Howson to do with a little nudge in the back. He gets a strong header to it though to go back to Cook and keep that away from Cashman of Boreham Wood. Philpott just tried to open up the body there to play the pass, just got his body open a smidge too much. Fine margins on that occasion. Gunter, who's on loan from Tottenham, playing it out from defence. Foot race between Philpott, Marshall-Miranda. Philpott gets it away, but only into Richardson. Goes inside. Wood were hoping to build an attack there, and they've been dispossessed by Alker, who's now got Vincent trying to get up alongside him. Could be a deadly counter-attack this if they can finish. And sadly for Leeds and Alker, he doesn't get the connection he required on the shot. But we take the positive, Ben, and that is that from a spell of possession of Boreham Wood and pressure, Leeds United nearly opened the scoring.
And they should have done, really, or at least hit the target, because done ever so well does Alker. He wins the possession back and he just drives into Boreham Wood's 18-yard box. It's a good run from Vincent on his right-hand side, uses him as the decoy. You can see his disappointment not hitting the target at the very least.
Njinko putting Gunter under pressure, which forces him to clear quickly. Cook to readjust the feet, stop Richardson from racing onto that. Allarakhia brings it under control there for Boreham Wood. Cashman, the man leading the line for Boreham Wood tonight, he's another new arrival, this time from Crawley, as Leeds get a free kick inside the opening minutes. Here's Cook. Work from Howard into Howson. Chris Pat into the middle. Plenty of space now for Leeds. And Njinko on his stronger left foot. He'll come out to Pickles. Deflection! Nearly finds the corner. Leeds win the first set piece, and they're moving with real fluidity, Ben, to the centre of that midfield. It's 3.5 gone, and if we've been very, very nitpicky and Leeds had a bit more fortune, could easily be 2-0.
Yeah, it's been a bright positive start in terms of just the tempo of the passing, especially between the lines through midfield.
Cleared. As far as Howson back into Enahoro-Marcus, who I think thought Njinko was touching it first, so didn't anticipate the bounce of the ball. The hosts get a free kick, but I mentioned it right at the start there, they've become a real threat in that promotion race. A team that for most of the parts were never really challengers at this level, but impressive what they've done, the recruitment, the ability to try and reinvest in the squad, and they'll be certainly confident tonight of extending their unbeaten run. That's the advantage they've got on Leeds, not only the experience and the talent, but a little bit sharper. They've already played 2 of their games, whereas Leeds are only 1 game into their campaign.
Yeah, and of course they're the added challenges, not only against vastly more experienced players that we're coming up against tonight, but this is why we value this competition. Speaking to Martin Diggle, the academy manager in particular, he wants to provide our younger players these opportunities, playing levels above their own age groups that we've seen last couple of years. At the very least, more players from the under-18s or even the ages below making that step up into the under-21s, and it's all providing the opportunity to make that step up into the first team. And we've seen quite a lot of this group who are on show tonight being with the first team, whether that's been in the States or the games back here, just to provide competition to the first team players.
Pickles goes back. Cook's pass was astray. Leeds pick it back up there. 2 Boreham Wood players attack each other. Here's Chambers. Vincent had to check his run. Now Lane drifts it to the far post and just cleared away. Good support play by Leeds United though. The game just stretching out a little bit as Cashman decides to put his foot on the ball and rest what was a quite frantic 20 seconds once again. It's into defence for Bush, and they'll bring it clear now with Kensdale, who's had a good few touches from right centre half. Clarke, who had 8 starts in the National League last year. There's a fair few that have plenty more within this group. So this is not a team that have rested that many first teamers from last year. It's a mix of new signings. And Bush, who made 46 starts in the National League, tells you just how serious they are taking it. Into midfield now for Booty. Captain Bush goes wide to the left for Bainbridge. corner is appealed, and that is the decision they get. 6.5 gone. It's been a pretty lively start.
No, it hasn't. These are the situations where you really need to tune in, have that razor sharp focus, because the physicality, yes, but you find with young players they can switch off at certain moments, but set pieces are always key, and Boreham Wood's crowding the goalkeeper inside the 6-yard box, just walking out now.
Flick on, and it's a dangerous one, and they've opened the scoring. Disappointment from Leeds, I'm sure, because it was unmarked situation there with the several players, whether they were confused by the setup, but it's a miscommunication between several Leeds United players, and it results in Boreham Wood 1, Leeds United 0.
Yeah, and the reason why I brought it to light is because we've seen it so many times against senior opposition where they just seem to have that edge against a young team, and it's all about taking ownership. It's a routine which you see time and time again, but it's the free header that undoes us, and it's so simple to concede a goal like that, and that was a disappointing nature. Approaching 8 minutes, we've been the better team, created 2 good moments, but we find ourselves 1-0 down.
Yeah, Regan Booty, who, if we were doing a technique masterclass, would probably be encouraged to try and head it down rather than up and loop it, but when it's a near post flick, at very worst, he was expecting a touch from a teammate. None given because it goes straight in the back of the net. And now Leeds have plenty of work to do just to try and calm down into the game a little bit. Don't let yourself panic a little bit. And we are looking at the 2 winners of this competition. They are the defending champs. There's a heavy touch from Allarakhia. Allarakhia with opportunity there. If he'd have brought that down, there was an angle for a shot. But yeah, Leeds United won competition first. Boreham Wood will clearly feel having won it last year, and the fact they got to the playoffs, it can be used as a real springboard to a bit of continuity. So I expect them to be looking to finish in the top 2 in this group, which is what you need for qualification. Bush to Bainbridge and back. Bush goes cross-field towards where Philpott is situated. It just bounces over his head towards Richardson, who lays it back off into goal scorer Booty. Looks to turn past Alker. Philpott pushes up, trying to squeeze the space. And Leeds working as a unit there. Even Njinko was back in as a number 10. Just that benefit of not having an out-and-out striker. Leeds will get the option to put an extra body back defensively, which they might need tonight on occasions. Still, as we say every year, Ben, it's a very young group. We're very familiar with them. They played a ton of games last year for the 21s, but some of them 2 or 3 years below that actual age bracket. Given new contracts, opportunities to continue to grow and progress. So still worth mentioning, though, just how inexperienced they are compared to their opposition tonight in all white.
And it's about reactions as well, because you're going to make mistakes, whether it's in possession or conceding a goal like we have done tonight. But I think the reaction's been decent from the young team. It's out of possession, getting the shape right, being compact, not going to sleep, not leaving runners.
Clarke, defence splitting pass nearly. Unless the last late lunge from Leeds defensively got them out of trouble. Kensdale goes back to Gunter. Just little instances there, you can see that the speed they want to play this game at. Allarakhia. So it's wide. Vincent into free kick. Wahid was the option on the far left. Boreham Wood are just settling, and that's what they'll look to do as well. They'll be happy to concede a few of these cheap free kicks. It's simply in order to slow Leeds United down when they try and build that from the back. The header will go Leeds' way. It will be a throw-in to the travelling young group of Leeds United stars in the away strip for this year. Here's Pickles. Back to Pickles. Enahoro-Marcus encouraged to go backwards, but felt from the pressurising from Cashman he couldn't do that. What he does next is even better. Howson to Lane. Now Vincent. Leeds have got numbers forward, and one of them is attacking the far post in Alker. And that is a scintillating counter-attack from Leeds United. Really impressive football. And Leeds now looking to build on that with opportunity to cross the ball in, but they've lost possession. And likes of Philpott and Enahoro-Marcus makes their way back to halfway. But you've been touching upon it about a response and the attitude. That's pretty good. Fast-flowing football.
Yeah, you have to say between both boxers, we've been the best team. Mentioning about the tempo, the passing, we've been in the early stages of the game, and evident there again, just the right way, the right option on the ball. Just that occasion with the cross, we couldn't get the numbers to keep up with the play, but another positive sign by Leeds.
Well, it's wide to Clarke, to Kensdale. Now with Bush. And Wahid. Chambers needed to have quick feet, was about to get tackled, he does just that, he wins a free kick. Makes it look effortless, and then Chambers tries to play the quick free kick. Referee's going to bring it back. We'll get a chance to look again at the opportunity in which Kensdale's positioning bailed out Boreham Wood. Shows you how quick football evolves. 2 seasons ago, Stan Chambers takes that free kick, Ben, and the player's block. That's a yellow card. I miss those days. Blatant obstruction.
I think every year we get a pet hate coming out of you, Hilly, and yeah, this could be one that could grow and develop throughout. Yeah, let's not mention the shin pads or anything related to the other issues you have with the game, but yeah, we'll look out for some more throughout the season.
I've not thought about shin pads since April. You've just brought it back.
I apologise.
Here's Gunter. Good press again from Leeds. To Cashman, you can see he's got that quality in possession with his back to goal. Knows what to do and where to do it. As Philpott covers his ground quickly. Kensdale into Booty, who turned away from Alker, as well as Pickles. And now he'll try and spread the play to Wahid. Lane racing across, and does very well. Working in a very close space though, but when he loses it, it was always going to be dangerous. That could well be the case here as Boreham Wood go back to Booty. It's now Cashman. Booty to Kensdale. Everyone in Leeds colours is behind the referee, so pretty much camped in their own third of the pitch. Good work from Clarke. Boreham Wood in behind, which Leeds need to deal with. Cook as well to get his hands on the ball and eventually Leeds cover and bring it clear, but it's all thanks to sharp reactions. Yes, they didn't fully block the cross, but there was a touch on it enough to turn it Cook's way.
Yeah, Cook did well to keep the ball from going behind for a corner, but Philpott did excellent work as the defender getting back in. As you said, didn't fully block the cross, but he wasn't favourite to get back and help his team out, but yeah, a bit of that hard work and endeavour you need from everybody was there to be shown by
Njinko has gone down with the problems. The referee is encouraging the physio team to come on. That's going to allow the players a break to speak to the officials, but yeah, there was a moment there where maybe he looked to push off, but he said straight away to the official he would like the treatment. So let's hope this is just something he wants checking over rather than a problem that's going to keep him off the pitch.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what the physios are looking at specifically. It doesn't seem too much. Whether it's gone into the game with an illness, obviously we don't know. It's obviously be a big blow for losing this early in the game, but as always, if there is that slight issue, whatever it might be, illness, a little niggle, a muscle strain, whatever it might be, as we said, we'll take precaution.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be too flustered by the issue, but yet to get to his feet. As I say, that does change. As you say, Ben, it's that early in the campaign. You wouldn't be massively shocked if Scott Garner just decided that this is his night. The referee is just trying to keep on top of things and make sure the physios can make their way off the pitch in good time. And the game can continue. I've seen him point to the chest, like the top of his ribs a couple of times. Whether or not that is the issue, of course. The main thing is we hope he's okay regardless if he stays on the pitch or not. As a player, though, early stage of the season, when you've played pre-season for so many weeks and you're against a National League promotion contender on a good pitch, there's no player on that surface that will want to be leaving the field early tonight, as Bainbridge gets it from Wahid. Now into Allarakhia. Kensdale. Leeds sitting deep and without Njinko. They've lost the counter-attacking threat. They've got work to do though first as Alker gets turned inside. Enahoro-Marcus steers it clear. Leeds push up defensively. It's actually Enahoro-Marcus leading the charge there in that regard. Back to Bush. Now Kensdale. Now with Clarke, who's had plenty of space and time in possession on that right-hand side of defence. Booty played Kensdale a little short, but got away with it. Bush tried to thread it through, and Enahoro-Marcus gets it away. It's going to fall to Cashman. Leeds have got to get across. Philpott sticks his leg in where it hurts. Now Chambers, and Enahoro-Marcus clears. There'll be no yellow shirt there, though. Referees signalling that Clarke and Njinko can come back on, which is a massive boost because Leeds were just looking at a wall of white shirts there with no out ball. They've dealt with it though. Out to the flank this time for Richardson. They back off inside, it's out to Booty again on his stronger left foot. Good turn from Boreham Wood. This time though, the effort from Allarakhia sails over the bar. But we're starting to just see what Boreham Wood can do, but aren't we, in possession? They're mixing it up a little bit, they're keeping it short and snappy, then they'll go cross field. Main asset, James Clarke's been pretty dangerous from the right edge.
Yeah, and obviously it's not ideal being down to 10, having to work ever so hard, but the shape was good distances between the lines, and it forced a shot from outside the box. Drifted over the bar, so no danger in the end. Just think the Leeds' perspective now, can we just try and get our foot on the ball, just play a few passes, because when we have done that, 3 occasions so far in the first 21 minutes, it looked a real threat.
Here's Booty. It's into midfield for Cashman, who keeps dropping deep. It's an asset of his game. And that pass is played away by Booty. It's into Philpott. Leeds can have a throw in to take in their own time. One back by Kensdale. Into Bush, who's on the march. He's got Bainbridge out on his left edge. Intercepted by Leeds though to stop Wahid. Concede a free kick right on the touchline, which Bainbridge will take quickly. We've nearly got halfway through this first half. And yet still, we have a situation where Leeds have had their chances. If you are just tuning in, opportunities right in the first few minutes. Pickles and Alker. I think the Leeds shouldn't really be dropping their heads too much. Wahid. Back it goes to Bush. All over the top for Clarke, who tried to wrap his foot around the ball. Very difficult. But see it again, mixing it up, going short then long.
Yeah, and these patterns of play which throughout the league campaign in the Premier League 2, where a lot of teams play out from the back, try and play between the lines, between the thirds, and don't see too much of that long ball over the top, especially as a defender. And sometimes it's just good to come up against different plays and different setups. And we know the National League teams can be more direct, so it's just good for the players' development.
Booty to Kensdale, once again to Clarke, who keeps taking a big first touch out of his feet. Howson nips in, as does Alker. No touch there though from the Leeds number 11, so he tries to get away, but that is where those little moments where you think you're going to get a touch on the ball bent. At National League level, you just don't get that, but you don't realise that until you play them.
No, not all, and it's knowing when you just win the ball back. Sometimes you might then, at your own age group, be able to beat 2 or 3, and then you're away and you're attacking. But sometimes just the simplistic things in retain the ball, short 5-yard pass, restart, recycle possession, go out the other side, your job's done.
It goes to Bainbridge. Cashman as well, and it is the latter that drives it forward towards Bainbridge, who's in an advancing position. Good work by Leeds defensively though from Howard to block the cross. Another set piece to deal with. For Boreham Wood to take this throw in, they're going for the more direct approach. This is where, as Ben identified, Leeds have to be careful against a senior team of pros. This time Enahoro-Marcus deals with it. Awkward for Vincent to then follow up on that. Lane gets in. Second time around, wins it back. Outball was Njinko. Freddie Lane has done tremendously well there. The ball to Njinko would have been maybe sent straight back to him. At least what he's done has given Leeds breathing space, including Chambers, who again will glide his way around the park. Pings it to Vincent, one-on-one, and Njinko goes near post. Still Vincent tricks his way. Gunter gets his hands on it. But there's flashes of what this Leeds United team can create when they give him time and a bit of space.
Yeah, and concentration levels out of possession are going to be key, because we've proven a handful of times now that, well, we're on the ball in possession, whether it's Chambers on that occasion, that, again, the pass, the weight of pass, the option is there, bodies are getting forward into the box. We're going to create chances tonight.
Howard pushes the ball away from Wahid and keeps him at bay. Lane to Howard. Lane now to Pickles. Leeds getting out of a tight spot. Cook to Enahoro-Marcus. Howson to Howard. Howson again, just really try to tell his players to calm down a little. Of course, that experience he has in abundance. And again, that's a house. It Leeds, maybe for the first time in this entire game, have a lot more time to just pick a pass. Boreham Wood having a breather defensively. Cut goes long. Philpott beaten to it by Clarke. Here's Chambers. Howard to Pickles. Howard to Howson. Wide it goes for Vincent. Lane, this is great football from Leeds. Cut back was behind and Njinko too far in front of Vincent. But again, highlight reel stuff with the last clip, the most important one missing.
Yeah, we spoke about the tempo of the passing, but the movement off the ball is a joy to watch as well. Very free, very fluid. Players knowing where to go. Play with better freedom as well.
Lovely scoop pass from Pickles to Vincent. Puts some loft on it, takes a big deflection, it'll be a corner. Pickles to take. To the 6-yard box. Enahoro-Marcus gets up, just doesn't get the cleanest contact. He did have someone else in his face at the same time, but again, it's been a good response overall, I think, Ben, from going behind. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100% I would. And bit of a half a chance, Enahoro-Marcus. Unfortunately, big strong centre half up against him, couldn't get a free header.
Chambers nearly pounces and punishes them from a mistake. Vincent does the same. The issue is Chambers had pushed aggressively and they've beat the press. Now Clarke, Boreham Wood, and Allarakhia trying to get past Philpott, who's done just what Leeds needed him to do, get goal side and quell the danger. Here is Vincent, up to Chambers, first touch is loose. And Boreham Wood win it back. Right from Kensdale into Booty. Marshall-Miranda to Clarke. Crisp play from Boreham Wood, gets a clap from the bench as they played it in behind. This time to Richardson. He peels away, back to Clarke. And Boreham Wood's turn to show a bit of class on the ball. Booty. Just to float it over the top to Bainbridge. There was a miscommunication. As the next left back to alongside me. One of those, Ben, once you go, you committed. They just weren't on the same page. But the idea was potentially dangerous for Leeds.
No, it wasn't. The earlier pass that split the back three open, the danger bells were ringing then. But again, they're working ever so hard, this young Leeds team, getting back into a position, into a shape, just to make it more difficult for Boreham Wood. And you take out the goal from a set piece. That's the overall football between both boxers. We have been the better team. It's just trying to create that one opportunity and be clinical, because I don't think anybody could argue if we did get a goal back, it would not be deserved. Or should I say it would be very deserved.
Here's Booty. Into Bush. Philpott just to dig his heels in to block the cross all the way across to Pickles. Not the easiest tee up to Howson. Now Vincent's lost it. It's out to Bainbridge and puts it inside to Richardson, and he heads home. And Leeds unable to clear. And again, just a lapse in concentration defensively has allowed Boreham Wood to double their advantage. It's 2-0 thanks to the head of Lewis Richardson.
Yeah, really disappointing goal to concede yet again, because shouldn't really be too much danger. And as you mentioned, almost architects of his own downfall in a way. To try and play out from the back, it's not on. So simple. 6-7 yards out, middle of the goal. You're not going to miss those chances, but again, the learning curve is sometimes there's nothing wrong with just clearing your lines, pushing up the pitch, clear the danger, get set, wait for another phase of play to go. But I've just seen so many times in this competition, give opportunities, turn the ball over, so close to your goal, these teams will punish you.
Yeah, disappointment all around for that Leeds defence. Howard to Lane. Pickles was asking for it centrally. He can't see what Pickles can. Pickles can't see what Lane can. And that was the 3 white shirts coming in from all angles. Here is Cook to Howard. One of the players that got a new deal this summer. Alker to Lane. Wide now to Philpott. Going to pick out a teammate. He'll try and smash it to goal. Head in his hand stuff from Louis Philpott. Right to shoot, Ben, or better options out there?
I think as soon as he's taken this touch on his left foot, steadies himself, it's one of those who gets it back again. Ideally, try and aim for the far corner, but Njinko did ever so well as the number 9, holding the ball up, giving that platform.
Back to Gunter. Kensdale. Out to Clarke. Awkward for Howard. Second time around, gets it clear. Richardson, 17 starts last year, 11 goals, 4 assists. And you can see that touch in front of goal evident for the second for Boreham Wood. Alker can't bring it under control, loses out, and now Booty rolls it to Bainbridge. Gunter to Kensdale, and now Boreham Wood's turn to just 2-0 up, and you can draw players in, you can make them come out of shape, you can tire them out a little. For a while there they were playing it out from the back. They have just gone for a long ball. Here comes Chambers inside to Pickles. Pickles makes life very tough for Lane, and there is one of those lapses in concentrations where you need those to go a bit better if you're going to try and change the swing of the momentum.
Yeah, and tightness can creep in. Really part of the season, and a lot of work has gone into the first 35 minutes of the game, and a bit of tightness, whether that crept in for Boreham Wood's second goal, for occasions where the passes are just going a bit astray, where the first 30 minutes they're going to feet, and getting some dangerous areas off the back of that. But for Leeds, just trying to regroup really, knowing that there's still something in this game. Of course there is. It's just fine margins so far.
Leeds with a free kick. Alker just dispossessed and then done so illegally by Boreham Wood. For Leeds. Because the one that managed to find a little pocket of space where Boreham Wood were not occupying. Enahoro-Marcus collects into Howson. Now back to Cook. Pickles nearly picks out Vincent. He will do via the clearance. Howson to Pickles again. Chambers central, as is Alker. Probably the gap too big though between those two. Alker's actually nearly a second striker to Njinko. Howson though, as the extra centre half, can drop into midfielders, drop up into midfield. Push, should I say, but just try to move a few jigsaw pieces around there. Leeds couldn't get it to stick, and now because of that they're out of position. And Enahoro-Marcus pushed back by the driving run of Boreham Wood. It's out to Richardson, turns, looking to try and play it back to the edge of the box. And Marshall-Miranda. Allarakhia was the one that made the original run. Now it's Boreham Wood's turn, Ben, to look just as dangerous on the counter attack. I'll stop there though, because Chambers had got away. Unable though to sustain the attack, and it's Boreham Wood again, this time with Wahid. He will turn inside, given a nudged away by Pickles. The deflection has actually worked in Boreham Wood's favour. Only for now though, but Vincent gives it away. Leeds just mentally struggling to stay in the game here. For their sake, we hope Boreham Wood are not as clinical as they possibly could be.
National was the #1 for a long time here at Boreham Wood. Most of last season on loan at Bedford Town.
Bainbridge. To Cashman. Booty. Wahid gets away from Pickles. Now Booty lofts it to Clarke. Went early with the cross off the chest of Philpott. Taken quickly again towards Booty. That's where Leeds got to stay so switched on. Can't afford quick free kicks, quick throw-ins, quick corners to be taken. Have to be in control of things. They're not here though, as the ball is played into Richardson, who'd gone early. Doesn't matter anyway. The flag was going to be up, and he missed his chance. 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think half-time could not come quick enough for those young players in those new yellow shirts, the new yellow kit tonight, because just a tired bit, looking not as sharp, not as switched on in certain aspects of the game as I mentioned, for the first 30 minutes. But look, that's to be expected, because Boreham Wood are a good, strong outfit who, as we mentioned, a kick away from being in the EFL themselves this season and not even competing in the National League Cup due to just their league position. So the challenges coming into it. So again, this is another one where you're tired, you're fatigued, mentally it's tough, your legs are heavy, and you're seeing the clock there approaching half time. So for Leeds, it's vitally important the scoreline stays at 2, bare minimum.
Booty, who's seen so much possession in and around this central midfield area. Clarke, wide to Marshall-Miranda, back to Booty. And Njinko had to drop in to help out defensively. Howson to Pickles. Howson again. Leeds trying to start a counter-attack, and Njinko goes out wide to Vincent. And now need to get his skates on though to help continue this counter-attack, in which Vincent practically shuts it down for now. Howson to Pickles. Now with Lane. Pickles to Howson. Howson again. Tries to skip away. Gets it to Philpott. Staying wide is Chambers. Wants a one-on-one situation. What Boreham would don't want to do is let him cut inside. That's why they blocked that passing lane. Here's Alker. Good feet from him. Philpott to Chambers. Leeds still have it, but they're going away from goal. It's summed up by the fact that Chambers has to go inside to Howard, who shields it away from trouble. Enahoro-Marcus under pressure gives the ball away. And now Boreham can start an attack. It is with Richardson. There's a couple up there for company. Richardson to the edge of the box has Cashman. Booty. Cashman. Opportunity. Boreham Wood and a third. And Wahid gets it. It's the best finish of the lot so far. It came about from Leeds losing possession, and it's 3-0.
That's a clinical goal. High quality from Boreham Wood. Turn the ball over, win it back from our mistake, as you mentioned, which goes from a promising position for Leeds, and we're trying to get back. Numbers are in there, but one touch passing, touch, finish into the far roof of the net. That's the clinical nature you come up against in this competition.
Wahid with a goal that would be tough to match tonight. Very, very impressive finish, giving Cook absolutely no chance. Pickles to Howard.
from over. Seen some wonderful games here at Meadow Park over the years.
Leeds lose out.
I remember one.
And now they're under pressure once more with Wahid, the goal scorer, looking for a second. Just looking to keep the scoreline as damage limiting as they possibly can till half time. Dreamland get another chance to score and get a goal, but worst case going at 3-0. Behind again though, Boreham are looking for a fourth first half goal, intercepted by Leeds into Booty. Marshall-Miranda. Now back to Bush and Bainbridge. Njinko has barely had a chance to touch the ball really. He's more of a runner since he went down injured in the first half. Remains to be seen whether he continues his role. He's moving okay. It's just not been the game when you have possession and can showcase what you can do. Enahoro-Marcus' clearance puts Howard under pressure. Deals with it enough though to turn it away. Bainbridge keeps it alive. Push to Cashman. Captain Bush again into midfield. Kensdale to Clarke. Like attack this defence at the minute, Ben. Possession games the key to proceedings. Leeds managed to force a mistake though via Philpott. Very tough to keep your head as a youngster when you're under the pump. And the other team are keeping the ball, but if the shoe was on the other foot, we'd be sat here loving every second of it.
And that's why it's so important just to get in at half time and one to have a breather, because when that third goal went in, a lot of the Leeds players were down on the knees, getting a breather, sucking the air in. Hard work, and the half has gone on. There's been more opportunities and more space for Boreham Wood just to exploit the experience from the home team, just keeping the ball.
Here's Cashman. Turns it away to Marshall-Miranda to the final minute of this first half. Kensdale back to Cashman. He's had to drop to the right hand side to a bit of possession. His Booty into Bush. Now Bainbridge. Richardson's currently offside, so Boreham Wood can't go over the top to him. Leeds though still haven't touched the ball for what feels like a good 5 minutes. 41 minutes though, the actual timing of the goal. As over the top pass on a plate for Richardson, who's looking for the angle to shoot. To their credit, Howard and Enahoro-Marcus narrow it down enough to force him sideways. Allarakhia. And with Booty. Allarakhia again into Cashman. Wants the 1-2, nearly gets it. Howson drills it off the shins to ensure it goes out for a goal kick. We had the injury to Clarke and Njinko, and the 3 goals should mean there's a bit of stoppage time to signal.
28 years of age. She has 12 caps for Tanzania. Watched last season, but he didn't play against Boreham Wood in the playoff final.
Njinko wanted a free kick, didn't get one. And behind again though, Boreham Wood. Allarakhia turns past Philpott, looks for the far corner, picks it out. It's 4, and they add another stunning goal here to make Leeds United's evening a lot tougher. And it is, as we said, we're always going to be a tough night at the office with the Philpott men against boys at the minute. this National League team means serious business.
It's tough without the opposition scoring absolute worldies, and you could have 2 goalkeepers in there and you're still not saving that. Some finish, as soon as he cuts in on his left foot, he's only got one thing in his mind, is to find the far corner, and when it clips inside of the post, always looks spectacular. And the Leeds' perspective, they're tired, they're out on the feet, almost feeling sorry for themselves. Can't believe it's now 4-0, but that's a harsh reality, and like I said, you could have 2 goalkeepers in there, you're not saving that.
Yeah, Allarakhia with a majestic finish to add another goal for Boreham Wood. Chambers to Howard. It's now out to Lane and towards Vincent. Intercepted by Bush. It seems like a lifetime ago there. Leeds had 2 chances inside the first 3 or 4 minutes to open the scoring. Enahoro-Marcus gets it away. Referee on a couple of occasions has come close to blowing the whistle for half-time. He keeps putting it into his mouth. To Pickles.
Listen to this on the bench as well. Still got the likes of
Chambers.
Abdulmalik, Matt Rush. 5 goals a season already for Matt Rush, and he's on the bench. Abdulmalik is at Brunt.
Bursting forward. Wahid.
On the bench.
Wins a free kick right in the centre circle in the 4th minute of stoppage time. The referee wants a word with the Leeds player in question, which is Jacob Howard. It's a yellow card for the Leeds man. He's a fall asleep at the back there over the top to Richardson, who will try and finish and has past Clarke. And Leeds United unable to switch on there from the set piece. Richardson has punished them. It's a finishing clinic at the minute. And now he has his 2nd of the night. Boreham Wood in total cruise control.
Well, for the last 2 goals for Boreham Wood were spectacular. This is on the other extreme. So poor from Leeds. Just from a simple free kick, 1 ball over the top. Players switched off. Mentally there in the change room at half-time, getting a drink on board. But guess what? Still some times have been played, and that's the disappointing aspect. But I suppose it's that element of the learning curve when, yeah, you've been overrun the last 15 or so minutes of the first half. Like I said, you might be feeling sorry for yourself, but there's still a job to be done. Fair play to Boreham Wood, being so clinical.
National League Cup, 3 last season, 2 already this season. Former Birmingham. That is half-time here.
There goes the whistle then for the first 45 minutes this National League Cup time, which Leeds started well for the first few minutes, but that experience, the class of the team that would be right up there in the National League, told they're leading by 5-0. Peter Richardson, a brace from him. Wahid and Allarakhia have added the goals for the hosts. Join us soon for 2nd half coverage. Welcome back to LUTV's coverage of this National League Cup time. Leeds U21s have had it tough. We expected this Boreham Wood team to be impressive, and that was certainly the case. They lead by 5 at the break, 5-0. And what is quite remarkable is that Leeds had the best 2 chances in the first 5 minutes. And they have made changes, have Boreham Wood. They've put Tyler Golden, Charlie O'Connell and Tom White onto the pitch. And this is a team that have still got 2 players on the bench in Abdulmalik, who has been reported to be leaving Boreham Wood in the next few weeks. Some of the bids they've been rejecting for the National League level have been quite remarkable. And Matthew Rush, who's got 5 goals this season already, he's only played twice. So it shows you the level of quality in a Boreham Wood team that are in the National League. I think naturally, is there still a stigma around the National League, Ben, that is youth teams can still be quite competitive? We're looking at a very serious outfit. We knew that before the score and the kick-off for this second half about to happen. Evidence in the first half suggests that they've got immense talent in their group and a great desire as well. They've not taken their foot off the gas, which is a shame for us and those youngsters out there.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand myself, Hilly. So when I finished playing 8 years ago now, it seems a lot longer the way my hips whistle at me every morning, but it's just developed year upon year. And as like I said, at Harrogate Town, when we got promoted into the National League, and some of the players and standards then was high, and pleasantly surprised, I would say. And year upon year, it's just been getting bigger and stronger. And what you find is obviously from the Premier League and even under 21 football, what we see Leeds playing week in, week out, players filter through the leagues, and then it's just like filtering system. So you get a whole bunch of quality players still looking for a club. They drop into the National League, and that's why it becomes so competitive, the standards so high. And look, this is where Leeds can learn from the experience. When you see Boreham Wood, they get a couple of goals up, they're keeping the ball, they're thinking nothing's on. Leeds feel like, you know what, we're comfortable at 2-0. And all of a sudden, two worldies, unbelievable strikes, you have to say, from Boreham Wood. And it's 4-0 at the blink of an eye. 5 stroke of half time, almost with the last kick. And the game's gone, really. And you come into the second half from a Leeds perspective. All right, what's got said at half time? There's nothing too much you can say tactically, I suppose, or you can't really rip into the boys. And I think almost becomes personal pride. Can you almost just do them like simple basics of the game? Don't make those silly mistakes that we made in the first half. And if Boreham Wood are going to open us up in the second period, you're going to have to see worldly strikes from them again. And sometimes you hold your hands up if that does happen, say fair play. But from our side is, can you at least try and win this half?
You mentioned personal pride. It was rather apt as you did that, because Pickles lost the ball and raced back to get it. And it is that sort of effort that these are going to have to try and make. The players going off, by the way, were Bainbridge, Bush and Booty, so two experienced campaigners from last season. Bainbridge, a recent arrival from Sunderland. Confirmation they brought White, O'Connell and Golden onto the pitch, did Boreham Wood. There's O'Connell. 2 Golden. Nothing into too much space there, Boreham Wood, for his perspective. Howard does enough to get back. They're not counting that as a back pass. That is a massive claim. We will take it, because I think the chuckles alongside me suggest that Ben Parker thinks that's a back pass. Can you confirm that, Ben?
Look, I'm in the Defenders Union. It's definitely not a back pass. Okay, all jokes aside, I can't believe we've got away with that one. Again, it was something out of nothing. A bit of electric play by Boreham Wood, but we've had the numbers back there, and I think that's where, from a coaching perspective, on the sidelines in the Leeds dugout, they'll be just disappointed where the work on team shape out of possession, you can see plenty of yellow balls behind the ball, all in good positions, but we're taking charge.
Here's Philpott. O'Connell. Into Golden, now with White. Place pass. There is an error in Boreham Wood there defensively. Gunter was looking for O'Connell and overhit it.
Scunthorpe taking the lead against Stoke. Scunthorpe 1, Stoke City 0, and Wealdstone lead Wolves by Group B. It's been Church 1, Norwich 1, Braintree 1, Worthing 1,
Richardson on a hat-trick in the second half, gets it forward. His first touch though from Allarakhia. One of the players that was able to score a quite stunning goal in the first half.
Birmingham City 0, Sutton 0, Leicester 0, Truro 0, Southampton 0, and Woking 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Boreham last season unbeaten, still unbeaten in this competition as well. Second time as well, they've netted 5, scored 5 against Brackley in the quarter-final. So Brackley did get 2 in that one.
Exchanging passes, they won a free kick. Foul according to the referee on Marshall-Miranda by Chambers. Similar to what we saw in the first half, Ben, about Boreham Wood exchanging passes along the back and making light work of it, but maybe a couple more errors than we saw in the first 45 minutes. They've given the ball away twice to Leeds.
Yeah, and for Leeds, just a little bit of light, almost the end of the tunnel, where can you capitalise just all those little errors and drive up the pitch against these good areas. As you mentioned, like, it's hard to believe the first 5 minutes of the game we created 2 really good opportunities, so can we get back onto those kind of levels?
Philpott in towards Njinko, dangerous ball in. Number 9 didn't know that much about it. He appeals for a corner, but there's plenty of zest behind that crossbar. It could have been more dangerous. Touch unlucky, I feel.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it should have been a corner kick. Njinko is one of those nights, hasn't it, as a number 9. Very little service at all. There's been a couple of times when the ball's gone into his feet and he's fighting the centre halves and he's looked after the ball well. He's done his job on that aspect, but not really any chances to go at himself.
Howard needs to watch that over his shoulder all the time because it has fallen to Wahid. Back inside to Golden with White. White gets it back. He'll be told he's got the time to turn. To Clarke. Howson trying to cover. Takes a deflection off the number 6 of Johnny Howson. And it's a corner kick to the hosts.
Finished 6th in the Premier League last season. Let me know on social media at Ian Waterhouse1 on Twitter, Ian.Waterhouse2 on Instagram. John, who was it?
Bournemouth.
It was Bournemouth.
Yeah, couldn't be Bournemouth.
I've got some really
has gone across to take the corner. Every day you see a number 9 taking a corner kick.
Corner for Boreham Wood. In a bit.
Enahoro-Marcus heads it clear. Only as far as Golden. Back to Cashman. Inside to White. Marshall-Miranda. Leeds though force them back. Just those little instances, Ben, where they can just, you know, they keep things tight. They're not dropping off. They're not switching off mentally. And yes, they've got the ball, Boreham Wood, but them going to their keeper's almost a small win for that occasion.
Yeah, and you're trying to see little bits of improvement or lessons learned mid-game, mid-match, and we saw the first goal for Boreham Wood. Very simple from a corner, but this occasion we dealt with it well, and as you said, we're pushing up the pitch. So it might not seem like a big win at the time, but just those little moments which, especially from a coach's perspective, you want to see the players put into action.
McDonald to Clarke. Drop of the shoulder from Wahid, tried to get away. Lane had a nibble at the ankle and ensures that it's a free kick to Boreham Wood.
Going quickly, Tom White pushes it over to Allarakhia on that right side. To goal, Richardson with a brace in this one. Allarakhia, Wahid and Regan Booty on the score.
Philpott has to be quick and is. Concedes a throw, but could have been much worse.
Booty got his head to it and looped it over. Between the sticks for Leeds. Started things off. Richardson, Wahid, then Allarakhia, and Richardson.
Taken short.
goals coming in the first half.
Njinko putting the pressure on. O'Connell goes wide to Golden.
They are doing just that. A warning shot maybe to the rest of the National League as well. Good start to the season. Home draw
Kensdale
against Tamworth.
works the 1-2.
Victory away at
And the ball coming in from Clarke here as well. And Howson gets across to cut it out.
Johnny Howson using all of his experience to read that one.
Howson caught in possession, but the deflection will only work its way to Howard. Turn can go to Freddie Lane. Leeds, though, in the first half were punished for one of those similar situations, so they'll count their blessings there. Turn from Golden.
He also said Lincoln City. The answer was later on.
Wahid has looked very sharp in the first half. He's drifted a bit more central in the second half, still just as effective. Here is Marshall-Miranda. Under hits the pass, that allows Lane to get to it, but Golden's come on, and his attitude goes, Ben, in National League players coming off the bench. They're desperate for a start. This is a team that we keep saying they're aiming for promotion. When you get to the playoff final, it can only give you the hunger to do better, can't it? And the subs that have come on have just carried on where the first team left off at half-time.
100%, and being there as a player, think back to playoff campaigns, and whether it's a semi-final loss or a playoff final defeat, and you just want to get back into pre-season training, hit the ground running, and that's what happened when we got promoted here at Leeds out of League One. We had that setback in the playoff semi-final, but the squad just drove themselves, and competition for places is so key, and you can see that with Boreham Wood. The substitutions that have come on, everyone's vying for the start within the league campaign, of course, but you know, competition is healthy.
Howson to Vincent. Now Howard and Lane. Lane having his shirt pulled by Richardson. Referee just keeping a lid on things there, making sure that those two don't come to any more disagreement. Alker's taken out. Referee doesn't give the advantage, said it's a natural coming together. Doesn't say that one is, though. As Leeds with Vincent with a free kick away practically on the goal line.
The yard of 16 for Leeds is going to come on, so Joshua McDonald.
And the bench for Leeds now active. Josh McDonald. He's on the field of play, and Vincent makes way. And a player that we know is experienced, Ben. He's had some fabulous campaigns in recent years. Played a huge role in Leeds winning this competition a couple of years ago. Was injured for occasions last year, so a fresh start for him.
Yeah, and there's other players as well. Mentioned McDonald, Sam Chambers being another, where you just need that run of games, just minutes in the legs, and you know the quality can produce. So it's good to see Josh McDonald had a good pre-season, and yeah, he's back out there tonight.
And Zach Brunt enters the field of play.
Had trials with Villarreal and Atletico Madrid.
As does Matthew Rush, who has scored 5 goals this season. So Richardson makes way.
Sutton in 2024.
As does Allarakhia. Just what this young group of men need is a man that scored 5 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, it gets easy for the boys in yellow, doesn't it?
But at the same time, again, it's a harsh reality, isn't it? You have to learn quickly in football. You will play somebody at some level that comes into a game in tremendous form. As Pickles wins it back, the angle for the first time pass wasn't on. So instead he has to settle for a throw.
Deliciously past Robbie Cook into the top left-hand corner of the Leeds United goal.
There's Howard. Runs into traffic. Back. McDonald attacks, goes wide to Lane. Here's Pickles, back with Lane again. Now into Howson. He's pushing a few bodies further up the pitch. Giving the ball away now, though. And attacking Brunt, looking to split the defence, looking for Rush. And Enahoro-Marcus nips in. Pickles goes to Lane again. Alker to McDonald, who's not traditionally playing left wing where he normally would. Here's Chambers. He runs into traffic. There was 3 white bodies in the way, and McDonald takes a cheap foul because they were on their way. Boreham Wood, they are still on their way because it's a long ball over the top towards Rush, and Enahoro-Marcus is appealing for offside. Not heard. He tries to lay it back to Clarke. He gets it caught underneath his feet. Here is Chambers, and they can bring it clear, can Leeds United. And again, difficult with an out ball. Njinko made a run, but he was covered. Chambers turns brilliantly, turns it to McDonald, shooting space for him, which he takes. Nearly finds that top corner. They deal with it, Boreham Wood. And there hasn't been much to smile about for Leeds United's perspective, but the teamwork, the attitude there. We said it right at the start, the fluidity. Second to none. They just don't get the stroke look they maybe deserved. That could have fallen to a Leeds player. And at 5-1, they've got a bit more to smile about, but never mind.
Yeah, it's brilliant play by Chambers initially. So positive. That's what we like to see. Sam Chambers receive the ball. First thought, can he go forward? And such a powerful runner with ball at his feet. Creates opportunity for McDonald. Unfortunately, as you said, the ball didn't fall to a yellow shirt after the initial save, but for Leeds for the first 70 minutes or so of this second half, just made it more of an even game. And yeah, the substitutions probably haven't helped Boreham Wood in terms of the flow, but it doesn't help Leeds in the flow of the game as well. So it's just fair play to the young team just to get their heads down and graft away.
Let's fly. Howard. Freddie Lane got a free kick, by the way. One of the Boreham Wood players was just trying to block him off, ended up fouling him while he had the ball. Here is Lane. To Pickles. Now into Howson. His pass was about to be getting intercepted. Chambers, though, dived at the feet of Cashman. Now Philpott looking for an angle for a pass. Doesn't have one immediately, so he has to go back to Howson. Leeds have lost momentum in doing so, and then Howson's pass is cut out. Golden and Brunt will bring it away. Brunt rolls it effortlessly out to the opposite flank for Clarke. Almar gone. And you're right at the start, you said, Ben, about trying to win the half. Could almost probably sound patronising to the players, didn't it? You try to win it in like 15-minute chunks. But when you are so heavily down on the score sheet and morale is very low, if they have to take any positives, is for the last 18 minutes they've been competitive. Their attitude has been very impressive as well, because there's nobody sulking out there. I'm not saying they'll be forgetting about that first half in a hurry, but positive, you think, Scott Gardner? When he's trying to assess the mindset of the players and their reactions? Yeah, I think it's the very least and bare minimum we would expect from the players. Like I said, like half-time, 5-0 down. There's not too much you can actually say to the players. The lads know themselves that how difficult the task is going to be, but again, it's the personal pride that has to kick in, and
still go chasing and still out of position, get back into a shape, work hard for your teammate. You do all the things good on the ball. That's where it's almost second nature comes to the players, but all the hard work off the ball, knowing that you've probably already lost the game, that's what the manager and all the coaching staff will be looking at the players to be doing.
He's got another free kick for a foul inside the Boreham Wood half. Pickles to Njinko. Boreham Wood switched off for a second there. Alker to Philpott, just a little bit behind him rather than in front of him. Philpott therefore feeding off the scraps instead. To their credit, Boreham Wood closed that space down very quickly.
And Sean Brown, you are absolutely correct. The only team to do with the letter L in La Liga is, of course, Levante.
Howard.
Obviously, John.
From Howson.
Pushing the ball over to the right side. Here's Freddie Lane.
Here's Lane. Trying to get past Golden, but can't do so. But he can win a corner kick for Leeds.
For a dangerous ball into the box for the Yorkshiremen.
McDonald making a near post run. Enahoro-Marcus the target at the far post. Falls for Alker. Doesn't get a hold of it first time. Howson plays it wide to Pickles. Howard wanted to return the favour. They didn't get on the same page with the pass. Pickles wins it back though. Concedes a throw in the process. Mind the other bench is options for Leeds: George Kenyon, Jacob Brenda, Louis Whitehead, Kenneth Mensah, the Trialist and Coburn Bird are still options for Leeds. Cross for a ball from left back to right back. Standard procedure now in the modern game. Clarke drives forward. Philpott having to stretch the legs because that was a potential quick-fire counter that from Boreham Wood. White exchanges a few passes. He's been quiet the last 10 minutes or so since stepping off the bench. Connell. Back to Gunter. Who's had the most to do in the second half with that save from McDonald. Robert Cook's only had to pick up a back pass. Here's Wahid. Rush turns away, nifty footwork. They come again, Boreham Wood, cut back, there is Rushed. Great work from Cook. League defender in Howson gets in the way. And now McDonald's turn, Pickles into Chambers. Leeds looking to punish Boreham Wood for their lack of a finish. Chambers will get forward, the pass is behind McDonald, but it works. Out to Alker, returns the favour again. McDonald got the chance to shoot, so does Chambers. Can he roll it in? Chambers goes for goal and he thumps it off the legs of a defender. Deflection. Leeds never say die attitude from nearly conceding to scoring. It's 5-1.
And the comeback's on. Strap yourself in, Hilly. We've seen some crazy things over the year, but no, it's great to see the defending throw the bodies on the line. One end of the pitch, and then 15-20 seconds later, bit of composure from Sam Chambers. Bit of deflection, take it back to the goalkeeper, but yeah, full credit to this young Leeds team. They put the hard work in and they get the reward.
Quite remarkably, that is the 12th goal I have seen today. I wonder what odds you get on 2 games in the same day to finish 5-1.
Leeds coming across for a drink break here.
Let's do our next blockbuster quiz, shall we? And this one is a really hard one. I'm going to
McDonald
back
was one of the latest players on the pitch. Isn't really interested in that.
No, but let's go into B. The last one we did was L, wasn't it? He was the only team.
McDonald on hand there to cut it back to Chambers, who could have passed it to Lane, could have passed it to Njinko. You're almost in that situation, Ben, where once you don't pass it, you better score.
Yeah, it did find back of the net, and again, just the desire to stop the shots, put the blocks in one end of the pitch, but could have easily just cleared the lines and just be like, right, we don't really need to go attack. What's the kind of point in a way, looking at the score line? But you know, fair play to Leeds, and McDonald's come onto the pitch and has offered something a little bit different. That little bit of energy from this right-hand side.
Let me know if you know the answer.
Render replaces Pickles.
To give you a clue, you have to go all the way back.
And Njinko also makes way for Trialist, which is of course where we're at this stage of the season. Players still looking for contracts.
So which B, the last team, well, who was the last team going to be to win the FA Cup? If you know it, let me know. Or if you just want to have a guess.
Looks like he's the one that's gone into that central attacking position.
Sean Brown, who's been guessing with us all night. You've got a few right.
Back to Gunter.
He said Brighton, he was not Brighton. Appreciate the guessing. No, anybody else fancy having a quick guess before I give you the answer? It is 5-1.
White scoops it up over the top. Enahoro-Marcus races across. Bit of strength to bounce off rushed. Has to be elusive, and is. Good footwork from the centre half. How can he get rid of the ball? Has to play it into the channel for Alker. Render, as we said, as the false nine, so to speak, in this Leeds team.
Tom White now, the 29-year-old midfielder.
White's across the park to Clarke.
As well. I'll give you the answer then. Which B? Who was the last team to give the letter B? Oh, it's over to Matt. I can't quite get it over.
Top goes accepted by
Bolton,
Leeds at the back.
Back in 1958.
Into midfield now for Alker. He's going to have a go. Stings the palms of Gunter. It's impressive work again from Leeds. Still 5-1. Quite lively once again. Boreham giving the ball away yet again. Done that a couple of times in the second half, just playing for a bit more territory. There's no need for them to panic. They know they've put in a really good performance. They've got vital minutes into the legs of key players. For Leeds, it's about attitude for youngsters. We mentioned it about National League players coming off the bench to try and catch the eye. The exact same can be said for 21s players, because this season's only 2 games in. There's different cup competitions to play in. There's the league to play in. If you're Render and McDonald coming in when a team loses 5-0, you're going to put your hand up, Ben, to say, well, oh, sorry, trailing 5-0 before the subs. You're going to put your hand to say you can make a difference next match, as Alker goes to Render. Howson's joined into midfield now, pushing a lot further forward than Leeds were originally positioning him to do. Back across to Howard. Chambers again. Wants a short option in Alker. Gets one. Different sort of approach from the right to the left foot, both spinning and turning away. Chambers again. He's nice and patient and controlled this from Leeds, but can they make it count? They can't. Howard to Howson. The flick on avoids a Leeds shirt, but again, the times are are making... The clock is ticking slowly. Boreham would have dropped off a little bit in intensity, but is that also because Leeds have upped the ante a little bit?
Yeah, there's a lot of elements that's gone into it, mentioning the substitutions and yeah, the scoreline. We're 5-0 up at half time. Natural, let's get McDonald here.
Mistake. McDonald tries to punish them, and it does. And Leeds capitalise on an error from Boreham Wood, just as they were in the first half, the hosts. Leeds are clinical now in the second, and McDonald's played a part in both. He got the assist for the first, a cool finish for the second. It's 5-2.
Is the comeback actually on, Tom? Is it okay to have a bit of belief? Because such a basic mistake from Boreham Wood, but fair play to Leeds, in particular McDonald, right place, right time, and still has a bit to do to find back of the net, but shifts it onto his right foot. Wrong foot's the goalkeeper, and yeah, Leeds are just working ever so hard in the second half and getting the rewards.
Yeah, so really good to see McDonald back out there. We know what a threat he is. Of course, for Boreham Wood, their players are starting to get frustrated. Their coaching staff are frustrated now as well. You know, position that they were in, it's all about mentality. This is a young Leeds team, inexperienced still in comparison. And Leeds are just starting to find a few glimmers of hope. And will Ben set the message? Win the second half? It's 2-0 to them in that respect. And for Scott Gardner to do his full-time team talk, that'll be the starting point, you feel. Yes, there's a ton of lessons from the first half, but youth football's not about just shouting and ranting and raving at all times. Sometimes it's about taking positives.
It's sometimes showing character as well as young players, because just putting myself in their situation, it's so difficult to go again in the second half, but they've just tried to do the basics, and that's all we asked for as well, and we got 2 goals back.
Yeah, to the far post. Good save from Cook. Tips it up and away. Rush was coming to try and make a difference. Cook with a very strong palm, which it needed to be Ben because it was going goal bound.
Yeah, it was, and they'll gain some confidence. Will Cook from this save, because 6 yards out, a lot of power on the header. Strong right hand just above his eye line as well, keeps it out.
Just like they did for their opening goal. Boreham Wood players make their way out to the penalty spot. Enahoro-Marcus gets a head on it. It was Rush that was nearly getting to it. Doesn't have the height advantage, the Boreham Wood player, but he's got another corner kick out of this. So we get another flick on header, and yet again Cook on hand to deny them. Here's a corner kick. He's claiming he hasn't touched it quite passionately. He's had a good actor, Ben. Oh, he's got a point to prove. Your thoughts?
I think he should just keep quiet and claim the save, because mentally impressive if he gets a touch. It doesn't look like he does get a hand onto it, but we dealt with the set piece. The same routine as you said rightly, Tom, about from the first goal. Enahoro-Marcus just taking that responsibility, and he clattered into Johnny Howson, which I'm sure Johnny won't thank him for, but that's all part and parcel of being a defender in these situations. It doesn't matter if it's a Boreham Wood player or one of your own. Go attack the ball.
So the head's clear. White picks up possession. Brunt's cross was poor. Render's chasing this. Again, just that desire forces Boreham Wood back.
This one is a tough one. Which nation, beginning with the letter L, is ranked highest in the FIFA
possession with
World
O'Connell.
Rankings? Which team, beginning with the letter L, is ranked highest highest in the FIFA rankings. Good luck.
O'Connell
Let me know.
brings it forward
Your answer.
into Kensdale.
Double check
Gunter.
as well. So who is the highest ranked side in the FIFA World Rankings, beginning with the letter?
Work from Rush.
Here is Ali Whitehead. Lovely skill
And now
by Farhad.
opportunity for
Whitehead.
Boreham Wood, twisting and turning, and Cook again. That is a tremendous reaction from the young goalkeeper, because Wahid was looking for a second of the night, and within the last 3 minutes he's made 3 fantastic saves as young Robert Cook.
No, he has. He's had a brilliant last few minutes, because destined to find the bottom corner. That little touch by Freddie Lane and opens the goal up. But fair play to Cook. Just fingertips on the left-hand side.
The header by Leeds. Howson gets caught late. He'll get a free kick out of it as well. Right place, right time was brave, Johnny Howson. The referee is just stopping the game.
I thought Latvia.
Howard to retie the laces.
Stapelberg is the player coming on. You can see who's gone off. We'll catch the number on the back. So Stapelberg has come onto the pitch.
Stapelberg will be making his way onto the pitch for Leeds United, and that is for Samuel Alker, who all the game times you see him. Game time you see him for the 21s or the 18s, does have that technical skill as a playmaker.
In the FIFA World Rankings, they are the highest ranked side beginning with the letter L in FIFA rankings. It is, and there is a link to this one as well.
Clarke has the ball in his hands for this throw.
Leeds United under-21s head coach Scott Gardiner was born in this country. It is, of course, the one, the only, the powerhouse of world football, which is
Bird.
Luxembourg.
And here is Gunter. Brunt nearly took a heavy touch. It was actually Golden. Just a bit of extra juice into the driving run forward, and now they play it on the attack into Rush. Wahid will try and wrap it around the body of Leeds players into the corner. And he's a live wire, to say the least. Everything he does seems to be on fast forward. He's tremendous talent. Second half, Leeds have struggled to get to grips with him because he's played a slightly different position.
Yeah, it's been a big test for the Leeds defenders tonight, come up against players like that from Boreham Wood, but you know, they should learn lessons from it, whether to get tight, drop off, get the players in front of you to fill the space, or stop the service going into the dangerous attacking players. So yeah, there's lots to take away from a defensive point of view.
Halifax 6, Derby. Wow. Halifax 6, Derby County 2. Scunthorpe 3, Stoke Newell.
Ball played forward, intercepted by Enahoro-Marcus.
In the National League Cup tonight. Don't let anybody tell you.
A touch from Philpott. To the final 10 minutes we go.
In the closing stages here, though, at Meadow Park, there's a sign just to get one.
Gunter was wide to O'Connell.
Question in. And it's,
He gets hold of possession. He is fouled.
Which B is ranked 61st in FIFA's world rankings? What B is ranked 60? I know, it's so random, isn't it? I had great fun writing these down. So which B is ranked 61st in FIFA's world rankings? There's another Leeds United link to this actually as well. So,
Here's White. Cross to O'Connell.
Guess I'll give you a clue. They were at the World Cup.
Wahid
Here's Ali
trying
Whitehead.
to turn inside Lane. A little nudge from Lane, who I think they call it had enough of the trickery and the skills and the speed work, as Rush gets it, a little turn of the shoulder, lays it back off, appeals from offside for Leeds. Appeals that will be heard, and the referee I think wants a word with Freddie Lane for the late shoulder badge. He wants more than that. It's a yellow card coming out, Ben.
It's not a yellow card, let's be honest. Yeah, you're right, he has had enough, is the technical term you rightly said, but come on, ref, just crack on with the game.
It's a two-tiered name. It's something beginning with B and something else that begins with H.
Frightening hand.
So Lane is carded.
It's an action too.
Clarke gets it back, and Boreham Wood are still pushing for a sixth goal. No sign of a drop-off from them. Headed away by Leeds, only into midfield for Brunt.
That is blockbusters completed.
It's Kensdale.
We'll have more quizzes coming up for you throughout the course of the season here with Boreham Wood. We'll be on commentary this Friday night for West Ham under-21s against Southampton under-21s. If you want to tune into that one as well.
Golden runs into McDonald, who again has done something positive for Leeds. Render an awful lot of work to do as he takes on the Boreham Wood three-pronged defensive front there, which eventually found a way through. It wasn't pretty. Actually tackled each other, but they got away as White plays it in to Kensdale. Enahoro-Marcus with a pull on the shirt of Rush, and they get a free kick. And this is where Boreham Wood are still staying slow switched on. It's the intensity. That ball was rolling, so the show of intensity and urgency is ruined anyway. I still feel we might get a couple of late goals though, where the game's gone and the way it's been played, Ben. Back to Gunter.
I've tried to be clever and link it to something.
O'Connell to Golden.
Almost up here at Meadow Park. It's going to be a successful start to
All played into the feet of Brunt, who's shown a real bit of urgency and speed in possession since coming off the substitutes bench. Cleared away by Leeds. That ball delivered in by Clarke, who's been very impressive at right back as well. His effort levels to get up and down the pitch have given Leeds' defensive unit some serious work to do.
Small consolation of winning the second half for Leeds United to make the trip back up the M1 tonight.
Here is Golden to Wahid. They return the favour. Not too many Boreham Wood players in the box for Nottingham at one point. They've lost the possession though. McDonald gives it away. Rush looking for a sight of goal for his sixth of the season. Cuts it back. It's played back in by Clarke. Here comes Rush again. Headed away by Leeds. Penalty appeals as faint as they are. And one back by Bird, who is playing as a left winger, despite being a left back. It's not alien to him. Chambers goes in with a challenge, and he has gone down now, holding his right leg after that contact. Couple of minutes left, and the physio will now be allowed to come up then.
Yeah, I just think there's a bit of cramp from Chambers. Seen a few players, both teams, in the last 10 minutes, just stretching out the calves. As I said, it's, yeah, you've done all your hard work in pre-season, but you still can't replicate that in-game fitness. Does take a handful of the early games in your season just to get up to full speed and just get your body fully used to, yeah, the demands that the campaign has to offer. And yeah, we said for Leeds, start the second half, can you come out and try and win the second half? Well, it's 2-0 on that aspect. Yeah, it's not going to paper over the kind of errors and mistakes and a lot of things that need to be worked on, but there's something there that can be worked on. And I think from a player perspective, coaches, everyone in it together, they'll be disappointed travelling up. It's a long travel as well on a Tuesday evening, but knowing they get to work Wednesday morning as well on the things to improve on, at least there's something there to go at.
Yeah, it is a small bit of positivity for that travelling group, who will be analysing this results in the days ahead.
Is here on Tuesday, the 8th of September against Newcastle United. For Leeds United under-21s, it's a home tie at Philpott.
Chambers just bring up that right leg as if he's had a knock as well. Quick drink on board, should be able to see out the match. Free kick taken short by Boreham Wood. Fast across the face. A tapping opportunity. Rush was looking for it. Cook missed it. Should be 6.
Yeah, you can see why Rush has been on the score sheet numerous times throughout a couple of games this season. Just finds dangerous areas. He's not big in stature, but is a live wire in the box and inches away from adding to his early season total.
official is about to show us how long we're going to have left at the end of this game.
White
Goals
to
and a few substitutions.
Golden.
Maybe 3 minutes or so is my guess. Golden to O'Connell. Ollie Kensdale has played the whole game so far.
O'Connell again. Options to go wide left were limited, so back they come, Boreham Wood.
Added on at the end. Boreham Wood are going to get their title defence off to a winning start here. Well, Leeds have caused them a few headaches in this second half. Here's Ali Wahid.
Wide it goes to Wahid.
5 minutes added on at the end. 5 minutes is
Cuts into the middle, looking for a shooting lane, doesn't have one for now. Leeds close him down. They need to do the same for Brunt. He goes inside to that lively playmaker. Hacked away by Leeds United of the 5 minutes of stoppage time added. 30 seconds are nearly gone.
Tonight, full of entertainment, hasn't it? 7 goals in it.
Wahid to Golden, double deflection. Thought it could be Leeds' throw, but it's actually gone Boreham Wood's way. That ball should be picked up by Cook, who in quick fashion gets to the ball. Also offering services for a pass. Fires it into the feet of Howard. Philpott's asking for it at left back.
Halifax, they are going to pick up the 3 points.
Here's Lane. Wood just forcing these back onto the back foot. Cook's done well to try and change the momentum. Up it goes to Render. Beaten to it by O'Connell. Giving the ball away though. Here's McDonald. Race his way forward. Here's McDonald, and again. I think he deserves a bit better than that. Just run away from him, Ben, but his impact off the bench has to be the main positive. An assist and a goal. And if the football gods would have been kinder, a shooting opportunity for a third.
Yeah, he's just been bright and positive in all his work he's done. Yeah, it's more evident when he's got the ball at his feet and he's running at defenders, like on that occasion, but his work rate off the ball, wanting to get involved in the game. He's just, yeah, his positivity on the pitch has been infectious throughout the Leeds team in the second half.
The top to Bird, who's offside. He's in uncharted waters there. Very high at the pitch for Golden Bird. And a free kick for the host tonight, who have been mightily impressive, Ben. I wouldn't be shocked if we sat here 8-9 months' time and they're in that promotion reckoning in the National League.
Yeah, and as we said, that's their aim. And if anybody watched the playoff final against Rochdale, so looking not to, they go up in that game as offside or a foul gets given. No goal there.
Yeah, pushing the back from Rush is why the referee has stopped the game. Philpott, Render's beat. Goes side drop, has he? No. Looked like he curved his rung as well, but linesman on the near side disagrees. And they are more important than me. Into the final minutes of what's at one point looked like it was going to be the longest day for a long time for this group. They've been on the end of some tough results because that's just the nature of the beast when they're playing such a young team. I think the overall positive to end on, Ben, is second half attitude and performance have been one that they can really take something from. And again, in 6-7 months' time from now, they'll be learning from this without even realising.
Yeah, and ultimately that's what it's all about. It really is providing the young players different the different options and teams and physicalities that they come up against, just to try and improve them as players, as individuals.
The chance though to cut this game back the 6th goal. Rush can't find the shooting space and they pushed it all the way back. Leeds have recovered quickly. And that's more Boreham Wood's lack of concentration there.
Golden. First time seeing Tyler Golden in action. The precedent. 17th
McDonald to Kensdale. There goes a full-time whistle. Leeds United's National League Cup campaign starts with a 5-2 defeat. It was 5 at half-time. Goals from Chambers and McDonald is enough to give Leeds something to take away from this tie, but it has finished 5-2 at Meadow Park, and thank you for joining us.